A gorgeous day again today. You can hear a beautiful Triumph Bonneville just about to come through. I have Tessie with me today, and it'll be a fun long one today. Oh, sounds amazing. Listen to that. I'm not jealous really. Right, we are now gonna go up a hill that goes up to the school, the first school, and also up to the middle school where my children went. And it's a funny old hill because it's one that it's got a gradual incline, one of those ones right at the end where it gets really steep. And I have to say, a while back, and actually I've still made up a little bit now because of asthma, but before I'd get about, I don't know, 2/3 of the way up, and I have to stop and stand there like a teapot to catch my breath. I'm sure it looked really funny. And sometimes with both hands on each hip, just grabbing some breath. And actually it's going to be interesting coming up now because we've got a postie there as well. We've just gone past the dachshund, and actually Tess was too busy playing with the lead, fortunately, because usually when she sees other little dogs it's carnage. It gets very loud, and yeah, there's definitely something about small dog syndrome, and they seem to have it against each other as well. So here we go. Love it. So here we go. Coming up to this bit, and it doesn't look so steep. I'm sure you when you want to push brake, this last little bit does get your lungs going, and yeah, it's a good one. And actually, if we keep going up here, just past the lights, and you'll see the sign for Puddletown. And Puddletown was actually the basis for some of Thomas Hardy's books, if I recall it. I didn't read them myself, but I did hear that was the case. Was it Far from the Madding Crowd? I don't know. Anyway, so here we go. There's the picture, and loads of cars come out by the traffic lights, and yeah, we won't go quite to the school right now. We'll go past it. We'll actually also go past the middle school, and actually during COVID, which actually this spring going into summer reminds me of the beautiful weather we had during COVID, which actually made it bearable when you can get out. And here we get to another hill, which is a nice stretch of the calves and the thighs, and this is only the start. And yeah, this is what we've done over the last few weeks is sort of extended the walks, and certainly on Saturdays what I'm doing now is, and actually when Joe's about, is go around on a longer walk up through the forest, which is cool. And yeah, it's you can't beat a day like today, can you? Look at it. Bright sunshine, lovely. Yeah, yeah, actually also today's been one of those ones where you had to jig my routine around to do stuff. So it's not long ago that I was finishing off my stretches, and I started off doing them in the kitchen while the kettle was boiling. And there are days when I have to do that just because of what's happening, and so it's just maintaining that habit, being a little bit flexible, and getting onto it. And one of the posts I also did today was certainly like the hip was a moment of change for me, for sure, in that because of the sort of chronic condition there was in terms of moving around. You know, when it first started out, it was like shooting pains at the back, and then it was just, you know, I'd had a resurface, and that was pretty chronic. And you would have thought that might have been the indicator to say, actually, stay trim, boy. And I don't know, over the course of time, you know, I stopped playing more sport and continued to eat like a hound, and things like snacking, you know, extra meals that you're not burning off. And over the course of time, we're talking probably a good 18 years since the hip resurface and getting the full hip done. Wow, you know, there was a lot of extra poundage went on, and it was only, you know, the hip kind of, and then a few trips that said, actually, come on, look at yourself in the mirror. You're a big lad, and it's time to do something about it. And then it was, you know, I did see a personal trainer, and you know, Luke gave me some really good guidance when I was, you know, first diagnosed with the hip, and you know, did tailored, you know, a training regime, and it was based around getting good sleep, getting out walking, getting the steps in. Actually, for the first little while, monitoring the food and calorie counting to see, to really come to understand, you know, which were the foods that had too many calories. And I think the main thing is also to understand, if you want to lose weight, it's you got to just reduce the amount of calories you're eating, so you're burning off more than you're consuming. And it's really strange because you know all of this, and yet you still don't do it. And it's you know, these are said on the previous walk, these are ingrained habits that you've had. And I think some of it, yes, I was eating like I was when I was a younger man and was still playing footy, squash and golf, things like that. And does your metabolism slow down? I think it might. But you know, the other thing that Luke added into my program was light weights, and then also stretches to maintain flexibility, and all of those with, you know, all of these together, along with, you know, getting and bagging good sleep, that was part of the recipe. And you know, the big part was the mindset change, but it was then the other elements that you build into it. And so it's definitely been a journey. And as I wrote today, I'm only probably about halfway through as to where I'd ideally like to get to. And it's happening. Just turn this round, because I actually really love this bit of the walk. You know, it's, when I was younger, when my children were younger, we used to go through and under tree canopies like this, and you'd all shout, "Tunnel, tunnel," which you know, it still lingers in the back of my mind, reminds me. But it actually gets better as we come along here as well. I'll actually turn the camera around so you can see it, because I just got by a stinger again. And there's a proper canopy here, and I do have to duck down. It's like a bit like going through an old church door. It's lovely. I can hear it now, all the birds singing, and I don't know if it's because I've got to a certain age in my life where actually you start to appreciate some things more than you did as a younger guy. And, yeah, and this is where we come through a lovely little track. And, there's some horses over there, and yeah, this is all part of our trail through COVID, and we used to go over a field, and there was some people that had some great big pot-belly pigs, which are fun animals, and yeah, they had, there was all sorts of things over there. They had turkeys, and they also had, I can't even think of what it is now, but peacocks, and yeah, so all of that going on in the background, and I'm sure there was other stuff like lambs out there, and that just doesn't seem that long ago, does it really, when life changed during COVID. And actually it was probably a bit of a wake-up call for a lot of us, and I think, you know, one of the other things I kind of got really into doing was cooking, and I think that's been part of the journey as well, and enjoying cooking as opposed to just having to bash a quick meal out at the end of the day. So this is where I'm going to end today. Just turn it around so you can just see a little bit of where I'm walking to, and you know, over to my right is Puddletown Forest, which is an absolute dream for dog walkers, mountain bikers, and yeah, it's you know, very lucky to live here. But I think when you really reflect, there are lots of lovely places. It's just making the most of them. Anyway, I'm gonna wish you a lovely day as I come down towards a load of walkers who probably think, why is he talking into his phone? All right, have a good one. Cheers.